Fight on, family. Preston's Paradise back at it with another video, man. And USC has clearly showed themselves to be possibly the top offense in America, definitely one of the top offenses in America this season, right? Has showed the ability to run and pass the ball, at will on various defenses, right? And has really looked unstoppable in the first 4 games of the season. My question today is, man, and I need you guys' help on this. Like, I want to know if I'm tripping, if I'm crazy, because I really truly want to know how far this offense can take this team. Just the offense, right? We're going to talk offense. We're going to talk defense and what this team really needs to do to get to that 10-win mark that I predicted to preseason, right? I'm a bit confused. I'm a bit conflicted. So let's get to these numbers, man. And I really want y'all's opinions in the comments on this one because I feel kind of crazy, man. I feel kind of conflicted about what this team could do and what we're going to see in the future, man. Let's get into the video. Now, we all are loving what we're seeing on offense from Lincoln Riley and the Trojans this season. How could we not, right? Number 3 scoring team in the entire country, averaging 52.5 points per game, 583 yards per game. Maava, number 1 passer rating in the entire country, most efficient passer in the entire country and in the Big Ten. USC is averaging the most yards per play, right? Wayman Jordan, number 3 yards per carry in the Big Ten. Mekhi Lemon, the number 4 wide receiver in the entire country, at 28 receptions, 456 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. He's number 1 in receiving in the Big Ten by 60-plus yards. And, yeah, we're really just killing it. Indiana is up there at number 2 in terms of scoring and yards per game, which is crazy. But the next Big Ten team is at number 10 with Washington. Wayman Jordan is number 2 in yards in the Big Ten with 443, averaging 7.8 yards per carry. And Eli Sanders is number 10 in rushing in the Big Ten, averaging 6.4 yards per carry and 250 total yards. This offense is fantastic, man. Looks to be the most efficient offense really seen in the last 3 years since Lincoln Riley's been here. And everything, I can't sit here and be a spoiled brat, right? I'm not going to sit here and be a spoiled brat. Everything that I talked about and wished for, it's making me look very intelligent, man, because I talked about using 2 tight ends in the offseason. I talked about the fact that how we're going to run the ball a lot more and consistently preach about Big Ten Link, Lincoln Riley's acclimation process and him becoming more comfortable with this offense in this conference and knowing what it's going to take to win games and be a true competitor and contender in the Big Ten. And he's made that transition. This team looks acclimated. This team looks to be a mixture of, a Big Ten team that could get big, get tough when they need to, run the ball when they need to, and also, flex that ability to pick up yards and make big plays through the air and down the field with the tutelage of, the game's greatest offensive play caller and Lincoln Riley. So I think that growth is there, and we've seen the progression, and we see the growth in Lincoln Riley and this team offensively. And it's fantastic, right? I love it. I love to see it. But how far can this offense take us, right? Does this offense get us to 10 wins? It looks like, this offense could be maybe even a 12-win offense, and regardless of whatever type of year you're having, or, whatever type of season, because it's just unstoppable, man. Utilizing all the weapons. And also a fantastic thing is the offensive line, right? Elijah Page goes out with an injury. And because you had that competition and you had guys like Micah Benuelos, Tobias Raymond, Justin Tanu'u, kind of mixing it up, going back and forth, getting playing time, Aladi Noah kind of stepping out, stepping in, that when Elijah Page goes out the game Saturday, you don't even miss a beat. You get Tobias to slide down. You get Micah in there at the left guard. You got, Alani over there in the right guard, and everybody's doing their job. and looking like, proven starters out there with snaps under their belt, which they have had with this offensive line competition this offseason and really early in the season as well. So that's another fantastic piece that is allowing this offense to be as efficient as it needs to be through the first quarter of the season. Now, defensively, man, defensively, we're a good team. 16 sacks, tied for first in the entire country. Number one in the Big Ten outright by a couple sacks. 6 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 38 tackles for loss, averaging 9.5 tackles for loss per game, and giving up 20 points per game. Now, here's the issue, right? That 20 points per game should probably be closer to that 16 that it was going into the Michigan State game, just because of the discipline, right? And a few soft spots in the secondary. And when you're undisciplined and you make mental mistakes and the coaching staff makes mental mistakes, like, I never want to see 12 players on the field, bro. There's 27 coaches and 27 people on the sidelines with pieces of paper in their hands. People just standing around making sure coaches are aligned and not getting, too far upfield and standing in the right position so they avoid penalties. Bro, we got 30 coaches on the sidelines, bro. There needs to be a number guy. Strictly, his responsibility is knowing how many people we got on the field at all times. We can never have like less than 11 people or more than 11 people on the field, bro. That is inexcusable from the staff. I do not want to see that, right? So that's not on the kids. That's on the players. That's on the staff. That is on the staff. But we got to play a little bit of takeaway, I think, just because of the soft spots in the secondary. And it's a lot, man. It's guys just getting beat. But a lot of this stuff is technique and discipline. Corners just not knowing and locating the ball in the air. Not ever seeing the football, so you're picking up PIs. Not realizing that you don't have a back safety to help you out. So you want to press a guy, but you're half pressing a guy when you got no help. You better press the hell out of somebody if you got no help. Then you don't press him and he gets by you and he scores a touchdown, right? Those are things that can't happen. And I love this defense, man. I love to see Jakeem Stewart get after it. I love the fact that we have a fierce pass rush, man. We're constantly getting after the quarterback. 3 great defensive ends in Shelby and Cam Crawford now. And Gentry coming off the edge. He's a bad one. Luke is coming off the edge, another bad one. But there's shades of 2023. There's shades of Arizona State 2023. There's shades of Colorado 2023. There's shades of Tulane when we kind of crumble a bit at moments late in games. And that gives me a little bit of anxiety, but it's confusing because the defense is good, but there's shades of 2023, bro. But we also, maybe there isn't too many shades of it because we are finishing the games, right? The offense is able to finish the games. We're winning the games by multiple scores. And it's not, we're not pushing it to like the last drive of the game where, if they completed the pass, they would have tied the game up, right? Even though that last 4 downs, the corner did get beat and the receiver was open. But our defensive linemen were on Childs, so he wasn't able to get that off. We were able to stop that. Because we had the pressure, right? It's a serious defense. It's a serious pass rush. But y'all can let me know, like, am I tripping? Do I sound like a spoiled brat right now? Like, I'm happy, but maybe it's just the PTSD, man. I think it's just the PTSD. It's like, I don't really know, like, because our offense is great enough to be a playoff offense, 100%. But do we have the ability to finish games strong, particularly on the road? Because I'll tell you what, man. I watched that Notre Dame game. I absolutely despise, the Leprechauns. I was watching that game. I was excited because Purdue was kind of looking like they were giving them a game early. But Notre Dame shut the door on Purdue. And they closed that game strong. It got ugly late. I was watching Oregon and Oregon State. That seemed to be a little bit of a ball game. I think it was 7-7 in the second quarter. Oregon's defense turned up. Oregon's offense turned up, and they shut the door early on that one. Got out in front, and it got ugly late. Got ugly in about the end of the third quarter, right? And these are teams we got to go on the road and play. And they shut the door on opponents. They don't, make those stupid penalties. They don't kind of crumble at moments. So that gives me a bit of anxiety. Because the defense, right? Our defense has gone up against, when you start with Missouri State, not top 100 in total offense. Georgia Southern was 73. Purdue was 74. And Michigan State was 83. Now we're going up against an Illinois team that's giving up a lot of sacks. And obviously they put up, 10 points on Saturday. So they've dropped down to 101st in total offense. Michigan is 49 though. Notre Dame is 52. Nebraska's 15 and Oregon is 12 in total offense. So I'll ask you the question. Do you think we're going to be able to have those same mental mistakes, those same penalties, and crumble at moments against these offenses and still win those games? Particularly when, 3 of them are on the road? I mean, it's possible. Is our offense that great? I don't know. Our offense is great for sure, but is it great enough to sustain us crumbling at moments on the road and giving up big plays on the road against good offenses and good defenses? I don't know, man. You could tell me. I don't know the answer, you know what I'm saying? I also think you have to take account in, big-time players making big-time plays in big-time games and rising to the occasion. There's a lot of guys that we have on this roster on both sides of the ball that I have a lot of faith in, that will rise to the occasion, that will rise to the competition level and the moment, regardless of what we've seen throughout the first quarter of the season. I think guys are going to show up and make plays. This is USC, man. These are elite ball players, and we got blue chips on this roster that are they're just ballers, man. They're going to make plays in big-time games, right? So that's definitely something you have to take account for. And our offense is going to see some tougher defenses, right? Oregon, 12th in total defense. Nebraska, 22. Michigan in number 36 in total defense. Even Northwestern at number 53. Illinois at 63. They dipped down a little bit. Obviously, they just gave 60 points to Indiana. And Notre Dame at 100. They just gave, obviously 42 to Texas A&M. But USC, number 52 right now in total defense. So not bad. Doing pretty well. I like the defense, man. But can the offense carry us to the promised land? And is this offense strong enough to deal with, the mistakes, to deal with, the lack of discipline in the secondary, the lack of technique in the secondary at times? And is it strong enough to get us that 10 win mark, man? That's what I want to see. That's what I predicted. I love what I'm seeing, man. They are doing exactly what I predicted and exactly what I wanted to on offense. But we're seeing some soft spots on defense that I wasn't really prepared to see as this season's gotten underway, man. But I'm confident. Let's see what happens. We got Illinois this Saturday. They're going to be fiery. They're going to be ready to bounce back. And this is a game that I predicted USC to win by multiple scores in the offseason, man. So let's see, and hopefully let's see if we could get it done, be more disciplined, learn some lessons, and take care of business on the road and Champaign. And yeah, man, I appreciate you guys watching this video. Definitely like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are enjoying the content. Got the Illinois preview coming out possibly tomorrow. Definitely by Thursday. Definitely will be coming out in the next couple days. And yeah, man, we got pre-games with Pauly and Preston this Saturday morning on this channel, man. So appreciate you guys for support. And as always, man, let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments about this offense and how far it can take us with everything considered going on with this team. Fight on, guys. Have a good one.